Today I will show you how to use post-processing effects per player without using cinematic device and verse code. Additionally, I will show you how to edit premade effects inside post-processing device. Before starting tutorial, I would like to mention that if you're interested in source files from my videos, you can find them on my Patreon. Link in the description of the video. Feel free as well to support us by following Gillis Games on Fortnite.com and subscribe to our Gillis Games channel on YouTube where we play games and showcasing our maps and features. And now let's begin. Okay, so I will drag this post-processing device into the map, and this is what we will use. I will be honest, like I haven't used this device ever, but I think we didn't had for like input for the custom post-processing effects. It was always just drop down and just use pre-made one, but I could be wrong. But then recently I just like looked into this device and I found that, see this plus button, it means you can create actually your own. So this is what we'll use in this video. So let's create folder. Now let's click on this plus, then we will choose our this new folder and save. And it will create pretty much like blueprints. If you ever created prop, you will see that it looks pretty similar. But in here, in the top right corner, instead of the parent class prop or actor, you can see that this is actually post-processing effect actor. It's basically it means we inherit from that, but it's like almost looking like an actor. It's empty. We have this box. It's like a trigger collider, but you can't even delete it if you want. As you can see, I just press delete and it stays. But we don't care about that. What we care is just we can click add, and then if we search for volume, it's actually not that. So maybe post processing. Yes, post process. So it actually, as you can see, it adds post processing. Let's see if it's no. There is even, as you can see, like if you ever created post processing, you actually need to drop this into like a scene, like volume, and it looks similar to this one. But this one is actually this again collision box, and our post processing doesn't have any body. We don't care actually about that, but what's cool is that you have all these parameters. You can tweak again. I'm not showing what you need to tweak. This is up to you. But at the same time, again, we have our post processing material. So just for demonstration, it's not tutorial about post-processing, I will just use my fork from my previous video. I will link that video in the description of this video, but I will just grab this material instance and I will add it there. And I will save. And even if I will go back in here and take this blueprint and drop it in the level, you see it's already working. And it's on bound. You don't even need like, if you ever again like used volume, right? Or you need to stretch, like scale up this volume, or you need to click on bound. So it's basically have infinite effect. But in here, I didn't do this. And as you can see, it's always. So you can, if you want local, it won't work. But yeah, in this case, we don't care. Let's delete it. What we care is about this one. So previously we used, if we want per player, we used cinematic device, right? So for example, we triggering that cinematic device, maybe with some trigger or something, and we activating it per triggering player. So only for one player if we want. Let's say this fog. But in this case, actually, because as you can see now, we have it inserted there. And if you scroll down, you can see that it says enable for instigator. So we don't need actually cinematic device. We can actually do this directly in this device. And you have few parameters in here as well. It's like priorities, right? Like durations, if you want even. So pretty cool. So let's add trigger. Let's add two triggers. As I said, for this effect, you don't even need verse. And then let's go back in here and set it enable for instigator and disable for instigator. So for enable, let's select this on the left and do on the trigger. And to disable, let's select this on the right and on the trigger. Okay. So now I will just push it and we'll see in a game. Okay, let's start. And you can see that we're starting already with this effect. I will explain just in a second. Don't remember. I think it was this way. Yeah, this one is enable and this one is disable. And again, we can enable and disable. So it's working. Now back in the engine. So why we started with this already showing up? This is in here like enabled during the phase. And we need to set it to none. And if we will get back now into the game and start it, as you can see now we're starting without effect. So it should be like if you want it enable later on, then you should set it to none. And then we can enable and disable, just like that. Let's go back in engine. So this is how you can actually add your this effect with material post-processing effect. And then you don't need again cinematic or a verse. Pretty simple and effective. Now, as I promised, I will show you how you can actually modify, not entirely but slightly, this effect, which are pre-made effects by Epic Games, right? And as you can see, like you can select something and let's enable it. And I won't be able to preview until I run in the game. But basically, as you can see, like I can't edit this because yeah, it's already pre-made. But actually there is a way. Let's go back into our folder. And now let's go into Blueprint class. And in here, let's open this actor, scroll down, and you can see we have post-processing effect actor. Now let's expand it. And all this from that drop down, it's here. So for example, I will choose this 70s post-processing effect, select, and I won't even name it. So like this, and I can even show like if I will take this one and drop into level, my post-processing already working. So let's delete it and open it. And previously, when I created custom one, right, it was empty, and then I added post-processing this effect. And in here, it's actually already added. And if we scroll down, we can see that in material array, we have this effect. That's where I say that not like entirely we can edit it because we can't actually access this material because yeah, it's just like that. And but what you can do, as you can see, they have some parameters here tweaked as well. So what we can do, we can tweak these parameters, which will still affect our effect entirely. So let's drop it back into level. So let's see, you can see some details in here. And now if we jump into these parameters, so you can tweak a lot of things see like that, right? Maybe you want to do something for the horror and you can see that there is even some texture on the screen in this effect, pretty cool. And again, you can tweak a lot of parameters in here, which will drastically affect. Again, you can't tweak this effect like a screen effect, yeah, because it's inside of the material. But you can definitely tweak how it reacts. So you see, like for example, I can increase maybe contrast if you want for the shadows, right? See like much darker shadows if you want. In here, for example, it's a global contrast. It's a slightly, I like to little bit like increase it to maybe 1.1 in my post-processing. It's actually a little bit sharpness to everything. And but yeah, again, you can play with all of this. Like for example, grain. As you can see, you can enable, disable that. And again, this won't change whole this effect because it's inside of the material. But with this, you can drastically adjust it and add in tint and all of that. And yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. And of course, like if you will tweak this one, then you need select your post-processing, and then you need to take that blueprint and assign it as a custom one, right? So it's again, it will be with premade Fortnite effect, but it's still custom because you tweaked post-processing effects itself. Yeah, and that's again how it will work. So hopefully this is useful. Really short tutorial, but I found it really useful, and I definitely will use for myself in the future. So yeah, hopefully you will find it really useful. And as a reminder again, if you're interested in my source files from the videos, you can find them on my Patreon. I will add link in the description of the video. And please follow us on Gallows Games on Fortnite.com. Will definitely help us as well as a team. So have fun. I would like to say thank you to my all supporters. I appreciate your support. Thank you for your generosity. You can get project files on my Patreon or just buy me a coffee to support me. If you're interested in learning more about UEFN materials, coding, widget UI, and more, you can join our growing Discord community where we like to discuss UEFN tips and tricks, showcase our work, and help each other. You can find link in the description or in the channel header.